Perez. I'm the director for the Lancaster Parks, Recreation, and Arts Department. Thank you for joining us so much for the announcement of the 13-14 presenting season here at Lancaster Performing Arts Center. This season promises to offer our patrons an unsurpassed opportunity for quality entertainment. And here to share with you all of the exciting features for this season, our city manager, Mark Bozigian, Parks, Recreation, and Arts Manager, Mike Rosa, Performing Arts Theater Manager, Teresa Yvonne, and LPAC Foundation First Vice President, Stephen Derryberry.
It really is an honor to represent Mayor Paris and the City Council here today. As you can tell, I'm not used to that. The mayor would not have walked up here and stood up there looking dumb while Rhonda was finishing her remarks. He would have waited. We have a lot of folks here that really put a lot of work into this, and we're really proud of this season. One person in particular that I would really like to acknowledge, and I am biased towards this person, but he's been the heart and soul and inspiration for LPAC for a number of years, my uncle, Lou Bozigian, President Foundation. This is LPAC's 23rd season, and LPAC really has been this heart, soul, and inspiration of the Antelope Valley. But what's unique over the last couple of years is the rest of the Boulevard has upped its game to come up to the level of LPAC. There were times when you would come down here and there wasn't as much to do, and LPAC was just the draw. Well, now LPAC is still the draw, but there's a lot down here to do, and this summer promises to be tremendous for the Boulevard and a great lead into the LPAC season. We have an exciting lineup this year of performers, and I say exciting because I know a lot of them, and I don't usually know all of them. First off, we have MC Hammer, who will be opening the season in September. MC Hammer, for those that are too young or don't know, is really a tremendous performer, and there's a lot of folks that have used him as an example and as motivation for their performer. Another great performer we're looking forward to is funny man Martin Short, and anyone who hasn't seen Martin Short, he is tremendous, and I would encourage you to treat yourself. We also have, and we're very lucky to have Helen Reddy performing. And it was sort of funny, I was talking to some of the folks, and some of the younger folks really don't understand, I don't think, and I don't mean to lecture, how important Helen Reddy was to the United States and the women's movement. And there's a lot of folks in this office, a lot of you women, who would not be in the positions you are today or the responsibilities you have without the help of Helen Reddy and people like her. So when you see Helen Reddy and read up about Helen Reddy, you'll understand how important she was to the history of the United States, in particular in the 1970s. We also have with us Food Network star, celebrity chef Robert Irvine, and I'm looking forward to seeing him as well too. He's got a following apparently. And a lot of other really exciting acts. What I'd like to do now is introduce Mike Rosa, who's going to tell you a little bit about dance and theater.
Thank you, Mark. Dance is one of the oldest and most beautiful forms of human expression, and it is my pleasure today to introduce this season's dance category lineup for the Lancaster Performing Arts Center. First, direct from Budapest, is the Hungarian State Folk Ensemble performing Hungarian Rhapsody. They'll take us on a journey of their fascinating culture through dance and music. Next is an Antelope Valley holiday tradition, the Nutcracker, produced by the Antelope Valley Ballet. This brings magic to the stage with children, toy soldiers, and a glowing Christmas tree. Don't miss this classic story for the entire family. In mid-February, we have the Moscow Festival Ballet with Sleeping Beauty. This is often considered the finest achievement of classical ballet and based on a well-known fairy tale. This show comes complete with a king, a queen, good and evil fairies, a beautiful princess, and a dreamy prince. This is an evening of ballet not to be missed. In May, we welcome back the Antelope Valley Ballet with their production of Coppelia. We'll travel back several hundred years to a small village where the story of a star-crossed lover will be told. One of the few comedic ballets, Coppelia includes original choreography performed by local dancers under the direction of artistic director Kathleen Burnett. This is a perfect gift for Mother's Day and will be time well spent with your mom. Finally, experience Ballroom with a Twist as alums from both Dancing with the Stars and So You Think You Can Dance join together for one night of grace, athleticism, and passion. As if the dancers won't be entertainment enough, there will also be surprise appearances from American Idol stars, which will add powerhouse songs to the bill. And this concludes the dance series. I hope you will come out and experience the art of movement coupled with dramatization and fine music.
Thank you, Mike. If you're a fan of American Idol or So You Think You Can Dance, you'll love that show, as well as the following musical and theatrical productions. Our first theatrical production for the season is a perfect example of dramatic theater at its finest, The Acting Company.
This is what it is to be on tour, you know? You show up in a new place, you got new people, and you just have to take your clothes off, put new ones on, and go do a show. That's Shakespeare.
You are playing a different theater every night with an ensemble of people that you get to know, similar in the way that Marines get to know each other. You're in the frontline trenches of doing classical work and bringing great stories into communities that never otherwise get to see it.
You spend a lot of time together. You live on a bus. It's a tight-knit group, and that breeds miraculous chemistry on the stage.
This is a world-class troupe here from New York in Lancaster. The second time we had them here last year. This is their first ever production in a 40-year history of Shakespeare's Hamlet. I also encourage you, they have a PBS special that is on television running this week. If you get a chance to watch it, I highly recommend it. It is goes over their 40-year history of being on the bus and how they were founded. Next is we have Ring of Fire, the music Johnny Cash. This is sure to be a major hit here in the Antelope Valley. Come reflect on the life and times of one of the country's most beloved legends, the man in black himself, Johnny Cash. They're here for 2 performances on Saturday, October 12th.
Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire.
Next up, if you enjoyed the 2 cellos this past season, then don't miss the 10 tenors. This group of former university friends leaves audiences breathless with their vocal renditions of Bohemian Rhapsody, AC/DC, as well as beloved classical vocal pieces such as Nessun Dorma from Puccini's opera. Fahrenheit 451 by acclaimed British theater troupe Aquila Theater, based on Ray Bradbury's visionary work that questions the impacts of technology on literature and society on our main stage March 14th. This is a must-see for anyone that is a fan of Bradbury, as he also wrote the script for the play. On Sunday, March 23rd, Hair, the American tribal love rock Broadway musical. Hair's Broadway debut was at the Biltmore Theater in New York in 1968 on the heels of the Summer of Love. This show takes us back to the days of youth and a journey through a tumultuous 1960s in America. Hair, long, beautiful hair. Last in our Broadway series is Rock of Ages.
I want to rock, yeah, I want to rock.
The New York Times says it's impossible to resist. This contemporary Broadway hit is a mix of 1980s rock tunes and a story of love told through hits from Journey, Night Ranger, REO Speedwagon, and Pat Benatar. Join us on April 13th for 2 performances of this arena rock on stage. This is the show for the last of the baby boomers born in the 60s, because the 80s were our time. Next, we have our jazz series. In September, our favorite local jazz musicians will overtake the Black Box Theater, very much like this morning. And Saxophone Symphonette will fill our black box with passionate arrangements of familiar and new compilations performed by saxophone musicians. Swing into April with the Antelope Valley's Big Band Night, Saturday, May 17th. All of these are under the direction of our very own Antelope Valley's bebop king, Lee Madelon. And if you have been curious, what happened to Molly Ringwald? I know you were all thinking about that.
Won't you come see about me? I'll be alone dancing of it, baby. Tell me.
She is still pretty, but no longer in pink. She is a jazz singer and a good one, too. Molly Ringwald and her quartet have shot to number 10 on the jazz charts with her new album, Except Sometimes. Peter White, her musical conductor, and her quartet will be here for their rendition of the Great American Songbook in March of 2014. And our jazz series wouldn't be complete without the Grammy Award-winning Branford Marsalis on Saturday, May 3rd. He may be Wynton's little brother by birth, but his musicianship on the saxophone makes him every bit the equal of his older brother. A regular at Jazz at Lincoln Center and a recipient of the 2011 National Endowments for the Jazz Masters Award, he has long come out from the shadows into his own. Next, we have Stephen Berry from the LPAC Foundation, and he will talk about the role of the foundation and tell you a little bit about our Arts for Youth program, as well as the Cedar Street Theater performances.
It's wonderful to be here again. Let me take a moment to introduce our Lancaster Performing Arts Center Foundation Board of Directors. First, we have a man that goes without introduction in this building, our president, Lou Bozigian, who's here with us this morning. We also have our second vice president, Dr. John Porter, our treasurer, Timothy Dorfler, our secretary, Berna Mayer, directors, Dr. Arul, David Friedman, Marco Johnson, Marilyn Norris, Michelle Shaver, Becky Smith, and Mark Thompson. I take a lot of pride in this presentation because this Arts for Youth program is really the true reason why I am so involved in the LPAC Foundation. So it is a pleasure to present to you the 2013 and 14 Arts for Youth performances. These shows are specifically designed to fit the curriculum adhering to the state of California's school standards. Besides the performances, a study guide is given to the schools for each performance to provide the instructors for each of these students at free of cost to assist them in extending the school's education and exposing them to the arts, something that the school don't have the budget for. We assist them to bring them here to enable them to be able to be exposed to the theater, to the arts, to these wonderful performances. These performances are not just field trips. So allow me to introduce the season. First, we'll start off with the Missoula's Children's Theater performance of Blackbeard the Pirate. All we need to add is the cast of the characters. Our local children will audition on Monday and by Friday morning be performing on stage for family and friends in this performance. From the theater series, we've included the acting company's Hamlet for a student performance. This year's Cedar Street Theater will load in early for an annual production of A Christmas Carol in order to offer 2 student productions. The Arts for Youth dance series performance will be The Nutcracker and Coppelia. Artistic director Kathleen Burnett and the troupe will offer Let's Make a Ballet workshop in our local schools. Lee Madelon will provide jazz musicianship workshops to students in the schools throughout the entire year. And I can tell you, as a student of Lee Madelon's many moons ago, it's just an experience that these students will never forget. So we greatly thank Lee for all that he does for our local youth. The Golden Dragon Acrobats will perform Cirque Viva for more than 1,500 children in 2 performances here in this theater. The Pushcart Players, Let Freedom Ring, is designed for pre-K through 3rd grade students and is a historical classical tale of America's history. Something I imagine everyone in this room knows, Fahrenheit 451 will be performed by the Aquila Theater and is set for students grades 6 through 12. This Ray Bradbury classic is a required reading for all students in the 10th grade. Also in this year's performance will be a holdover of the Moscow Festival Ballet performance of The Sleeping Beauty. I know my 6-year-old is already requiring that we get tickets for that one because Aurora's her favorite princess. Last but not least, we have Missoula's Children's Theater will return again to delight the young at heart with Beauty Lou and the Country Beast. Come out and support our local youth as they portray this age-old tale based upon Beauty and the Beast, teaching them not to judge a book by its cover. And lastly, we have our Cedar Street Theater, who will be returning to include performances of 13, the annual production of A Christmas Carol, The Real Inspector Hound, and Les Miserables. Thank you so much.
It is my pleasure to present this year's headliners. MC Hammer. Starting LPAC's 2013-14 season is hip-hop artist MC Hammer, which Mark talked about a little bit earlier. You Can't Touch This is the third album and quickly made MC Hammer a household name in the 1990s. An Evening with Martin Short. Witness a talent ranging from zany characters to uncanny impressions to quirky stunts as Martin Short gives us one hilarious evening of entertainment not to be missed. The Helen Reddy Christmas Show. Best known for her I Am Woman recording, Reddy is still a delight to hear and an outstanding performer. Don't miss the chance to see one of the world's most talented entertainers. Celebrity chef Robert Irvine.
This is not a cooking demonstration. This is live entertainment. This is a show.
Chef Robert Irvine has tackled some of the toughest culinary challenges in the world. But can he conquer this one?
The mission? Cook for 200 extreme athletes. Prepare twin meals for 250 twins. Feed 400 cyber junkies and 1,200 at the casino without salt, sugar, or oil.
Are you killing me? No salt?
If you've watched his show, you already know that Chef Robert Irvine is a master of his craft. Bringing us more than a cooking demonstration, he will serve up a high-energy performance on the LPAC stage. John Anderson and Tracy Lawrence. Enjoy an intimate evening with two of country's greatest legends, Anderson and Lawrence. These two gentlemen have been influential singer-songwriters in the country music genre for decades.
We round out our season with 4 comedic acts, including one that was previously mentioned, some blues this year, and several world productions fit for the entire family. Comedian Martin Short is in a class by himself, but this year we also have 2 females and 1 male comedian that are guaranteed to tickle your funny bone. Comedian Kathleen Madigan returns to the LPAC for another round of her hysterically funny show, Gone Madigan, on Friday, January 17th. She sold out last time, so I wouldn't wait to get my tickets this season. Not to be upstaged this year, with her own brand of humor, is Sandra Bernhard. She has been described as living, breathing bonfire. Her show is an angst-driven, poison-laced joyride that has you laughing the entire time. She is the perfect date for Valentine's Day. There is simply no excuse for not coming out to see Jim Brewer and his unique take on funny. You'll remember him best from Saturday Night Live. He is charismatic, full of stage antics, does dead-on impressions, and offers clean, family-friendly stand-up comedy. On Friday, November 2nd, we welcome the official Blues Brothers review. This is the real deal. Sanctioned by Dan Aykroyd and Judith Belushi, this live concert is not a tribute band. Under the musical direction of Paul Schaefer from Letterman fame, this is passion and precision that will take you back to the days of their mission from God. Pacific Mambo Orchestra featuring Tito Puente Jr. takes the stage on November 8th at 8 p.m. Winner of the 2013 Grammy for Best Tropical Album, this modern-day Latin salsa jazz orchestra is a favorite for California and will be a favorite here. To miss them. Our Latin beat continues with Mariachi Sol de Mexico de Jose Hernandez. This dynamic ensemble will bring A Mariachi Christmas to the LPAC for one afternoon on Sunday, December 1st, just in time for tamales. The Hitmen will bring our season to a close next year. These are guys who wrote and sang songs in the studio with the likes of Jim Croce, Rod Stewart, Elton John, and Barry Manilow. They are spot on, singing songs from the Four Seasons, the Shondells, and Carly Simon. You'll swear you are listening to the original. Last but not least, we bring you to a world of entertainment from literally all over the world. Cirque Ziva is presented by the Golden Dragon Acrobats. This troupe has been to LPAC multiple times and always delivers death-defying feats. You will swear you held your breath the entire show. Cirque Ziva, their newest production created in 2011, is no exception to the rule and promises to deliver even more spectacular feats, more costumes than ever before. Direct from Ireland, Celtic Nights, The Immigrant's Bridge, an evening of music, song, and dance.
Down the valley there waits tonight a lady dark and fair. Lost out in the night in the cold moonlight, her true love travels far. Through wind and rain and snow so deep, he battles to reach her side. Little does he know that on his back the demon Puka rides. Don't ride the Puka beast, my love, don't ride the beast tonight. Don't ride the Puka beast, my love, don't ride tonight.
Their previous production, Journey of Hope, was a sellout 2 years ago, so don't delay in getting your season tickets for this new show. Next, we continue to the island of Japan with Tau Phoenix Rising. On February 15th, this explosive ensemble will make their debut here in Lancaster. This troupe has brought taiko drumming to more than 5 million spectators worldwide. This is a new production. It is not just the traditional drumming. This is a combination with innovative choreography, athletics, and a huge production. It will create an experience that will take your breath away. At this time, I'd like to sincerely thank our supporters today, Antelope Valley Ballet for their dancers, that we used them as models. Double D Cupcakes. I hope you take a cupcake back. And Lemon Leaf, of course, for providing refreshments. I would also be completely remiss without thanking my staff. There's a man up in the lights, Mr. Vanderhyde, and he has a crew of men and women in black that you see walk around. And they're the ones that make all this magic happen. Trust me, the microphone wouldn't work, the lights wouldn't come up. You really don't want to tick these guys off because they can really make you look stupid up here. But they don't. And usually, even when something does go wrong, that isn't anyone's fault, they'll still take the blame for it, so I have to give them credit. They make everyone look good, including us and all our performers that are here. There are some folks up in the front, Judy Kerpa, for one, who's been here a long time, Bobby Kay, who is backgrounding dancers right now, I think, and two people up in the box office that don't get nearly enough credit, because as we launch this season, and my work is essentially done and we go into the next season, their work begins, because then they start talking to people on the phone and selling season tickets and taking care of our donors and making sure everyone gets the seat on the aisle and they can see, and should they be in the balcony, and there's 1,000,001 questions, and that's Craig Crawford and Amanda Green up in the box office. So thank you very much.
Rhonda wanted me to remind you all that we have a few more tricks up our sleeves that we'll be announcing over the coming weeks, a couple more acts and stuff. You'll also notice that we're not shy about saying, you know, we don't know this, we haven't heard of that, because that's what makes an exciting season. That's what we want. You don't want to listen to the same radio station all the time. You want to have some variety. LPAC gives variety. Towards that end, I'd be remiss if I didn't sincerely and very passionately thank our mayor and city council. It is not easy when you're fighting budget battles and when you're fighting the state and the county and everything to continue to fund an LPAC season, to continue to show the value of what this brings to the community. This is what makes our community exciting and alive. You need to provide basic services, but you also need to provide the things that excite and energize people. And we also combine with that with a council and a mayor that are brave enough and smart enough to do that. We have a staff that can deliver a season in a cost-effective and exciting manner. So please give them a big round of applause for what they do. But this really isn't about us, and it's not about the mayor, and it's not about the council. It's about the community. This is something that we hope the community supports, and that's not just ticket sales. Ticket sales are for you. You buy tickets for the shows that you want to go to. But when you support the LPAC Foundation, and when you support the city, and when you support LPAC, you give the opportunity to those people who can't afford that through the Arts for Youth program, and those are the kinds of programs that we're excited about. So buy tickets for yourself, that's great. Give them as gifts. Pamper yourself to a show you've never seen, but also support LPAC. We have a fundraiser coming up. It's June 8th, I believe, right? You can see Julie. You can go online to buy tickets. That's a great opportunity for those in the community to come, hear about the LPAC Foundation, see what LPAC's all about, and support it. Have a great night of auction and great food, great drink, and just come out and enjoy yourselves.